I Am Legend 2, Redemption. Years have passed since the outbreak that turned humanity into Darkseekers. Dr. Robert Neville, once thought to be dead, survived by escaping through underground tunnels beneath his lab before the final explosion. Scarred, alone, and presumed dead by the world, Neville continued his work in secret, searching for a permanent cure. Meanwhile, in a fortified survivor colony in Colorado, a new leader had emerged. Eli Grant Michael B. Jordan, a former military medic turned survivalist. Eli led with hope and discipline, but the world outside remained dangerous, and whispers of mutated, intelligent Darkseekers growing in numbers began to spread. One day, Eli's team intercepted a radio signal, an encrypted message carrying a familiar voice. "This is Dr. Robert Neville. I'm alive, and I have something they need." Shocked by the voice, Eli launched an expedition with his most trusted team members to track the signal, hoping to find a man considered a myth. After days of battling Darkseekers and crossing desolate cities, Eli and his team arrived at a hidden bunker in the ruins of Washington, D.C. There, they found an aged but sharp-minded Neville, living alone, surrounded by lab equipment and samples. At first skeptical, Eli demanded proof. Neville showed them a vial, a genetically stabilized cure that he had developed by altering his own blood over the years. But Neville warned them there was a new threat. A mutated Darkseeker leader, unlike any before, had gained intelligence and control over others. It had evolved, learned, and it remembered Neville. This new alpha hunted him relentlessly, seeing him not as a threat, but as the enemy of its kind. Neville explained that to replicate the cure on a large scale, he needed access to equipment stored in a ruined CDC lab in Atlanta, deep within Darkseeker territory. Eli, seeing the last hope of reclaiming humanity, agreed to lead a mission. As they traveled together, a bond formed between Eli and Neville. Two men from different eras, but both haunted by loss and driven by purpose. Along the way, they saved survivors, fought off ambushes, and discovered horrifying signs of Darkseeker evolution, newborn hybrids that could survive in daylight for short periods. In Atlanta, they reached the CDC building, but were ambushed by the Darkseeker leader and its horde. A massive battle unfolded. Neville injected himself with the final prototype and lured the alpha away, while Eli and the team uploaded the cure data. In a final act of redemption, Neville used himself as bait, injecting the alpha with his blood during their brutal fight. The mutation destabilized the alpha, killing it, but not before Neville was mortally wounded. Eli returned to the colony with the data and blood samples. Weeks later, the first human trial succeeded. Humanity had a fighting chance. Eli stood before the survivors, announcing, "Dr. Robert Neville wasn't just a scientist. He was a cure. He gave us back our future." The film ends with Eli standing atop a watchtower, a vial of the cure around his neck, and the sun rising behind him, a symbol that hope had returned and the legend lived on.